You're just gonna sit there with your piece of paper.
I have a whole pad. What do you mean my piece of paper? This is a pad of paper.
It looks like
It
fun.
says all my notes from the episodes.
It looks funny the way you did that. And it's dead silence. Glitched.
Delay man.
The layman is gonna come for you.
Get your earballs ready. Welcome to the Greg and Tim Show podcast. Take time to sit back and relax and enjoy the show. Here are your hosts, Greg and Tim.
Hey, welcome back to the show. Greg and Tim Show back at you. Not live.
I'm the Tim one.
I'm sorry that last week's was live.
Why? It was awesome.
It was a good show.
Why are you apologizing?
Well, we were very like
Glitchy.
hello. It is me.
No.
No, our sound was good. It was the video that was bad.
We're just fine tuning it. You got to start somewhere.
Yeah, and we were in a bad internet location and all that kind of fun stuff.
The interweb was not as strong in this one.
The interweb was not strong.
No,
But it was fun because we got to talk to random people that we invited to the show. It was our first ever live. Last week we posted that episode. We didn't post it on Spotify. It only went out on YouTube's. So if you're a Spotify subscriber,
go to YouTube. It's so easy. Like even I can do it. I click on the YouTube, and I can get any of the episodes
On the
one of them
YouTubes.
on the YouTubes.
on the YouTube.
And so can you. The layman says so. Go to YouTube. Wee. Little Christopher.
We?
Little Christopher. Remember when in Billy Madison when he plays that bus driver? That Veronica Vaughn.
That Veronica Vaughn is one piece of...
Woo! And they ended woo.
I thought it was we.
Wee! Woo! I can't remember. Go back and look at Tommy.
Veronica Vaughn.
No, it's Billy Madison.
So I do have notes
He's got
that
that
you
big
gave
beard.
me a few minutes before the episode today.
Aren't you going to ask me how I'm doing?
And in these notes, we have
No?
a few different topics that we want to go
Don't
over.
care?
One of them is,
Oh,
Tim,
I was going to tell you.
can you tell me how you're doing?
What, have you written down that?
Yes, it's right
Okay.
there.
All right. You know what? It's funny because
Tell me something funny.
I have this. I'll tell you a story.
Yeah.
It's about a pain in my neck. And I was supposed to go back to my.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about somebody else.
I had to go back this week for a massage. I'm working out of town, so I haven't been able to.
Yeah.
Does our podcast have any kind of budget in it for a masseuse?
Yeah.
Is our masseuse, can they be here next week?
No.
Okay, because...
So the budget, do you want to know what the budget is?
What?
0.
Okay, because my neck...
It's actually negative.
My neck
It's
hurts.
negative 80.
Are you saying I have to bring one back here?
A masseuse?
Yeah.
If you want to. Do
I
you think
can't
that
do
would be appropriate?
I don't know.
To bring a masseuse into the massage studio into the podcast
I
studio?
bet you if you brought a masseuse into a massage there,
That would be
That would
appropriate?
be very appropriate.
But if we
would
brought-
it be appropriate to bring a doctor into a doctor's office? Probably. Wee. Or woo.
Just to give you a heads up, Tim has taken a few uppers right before the show. He isn't on drugs. His uppers were just literally
Oh.
coffee and Coca-Cola Classic. No, but would you think it would be
Coca-Cola Classic?
appropriate
I
to
had
bring
a Diet Pepsi.
your massage into the show while we're recording? Do you think that would be appropriate?
If I could get a good, I need right here. If they did this right here, we talked and had
Yeah.
the mic right here.
Do you like male masseuses or female masseuses?
I like male ones.
Really?
Yeah, for obvious reasons. They can put more strength into it. My massage therapist that I've gone to the last couple of times, Brett is his name. Fantastic fella. No, he's a very manly man.
Yeah.
And did a good job on my neck, but I have to go back because it's, he said, he used the word mangled when he referred to my neck.
Nice.
Is that a good thing when you go to your massage therapist and he uses the word mangled?
I remember the episode when we recorded with the Sandersons, Fabian and
Nelson.
Yeah. And I remember sitting literally right in this seat right here,
Yeah.
and they were over there, and I couldn't turn my head like this.
I remember that, yeah.
Right? So I was like constantly going like this. So how would you like to answer this question?
I remember that. You're like, I can't turn my
I can't turn my
Why?
neck.
I don't know why I'm talking about my mouth. That my mouth doesn't. I have so severe.
I also have Bell's palsy.
I don't think you're supposed to joke about that.
Bell's
Can
palsy?
we cut that out?
No, it's not. I'm
You're
not
making a
joking
joke.
about it.
Yeah, you're making fun of people with Bell's
you're
palsy.
talking with your mouth like that. And
I
I'm
think
just
you've been
saying, I
canceled.
also
I
have
think
Bell's palsy.
I think you've just been canceled. You cannot
I'm
say
not
that.
making fun of
Yes,
people
you
with Bell's
are.
palsy.
I take offense.
That's what happens is it gets droopy on the one side.
Yes, but you don't have that particular ailment. And by you making a comment like that, you are making fun of them. You're now canceled.
Okay, so when you did the Chris Farley kind of shtick
Imitation?
there,
I imitated
you're not
a
Chris
very
Farley.
famous...
That means you're canceled.
that was
No,
apples
you're
and grenades.
canceled.
That's
You're
ridiculous.
canceled, Tim.
Ridiculous.
Is that how we cancel people these days?
Ridiculous. You made a terrible... At no point in your rambling, incoherent speech did you come close to a rational thought. No?
I award you
That's what I'm
0
saying.
points.
And may God have mercy on your soul. Billy Madison. Classic scene. A
Billy
simple no
Madison.
would have been done, but hey.
Oh, I love how you get the comfy like 2 armrest chair, and I'm over here in the couch.
So speaking of having an interview while we're like on instead of a massage therapist, but I hope that when we do end up doing our interview with Dr. Dan,
Yeah.
it'd be funny. I had this vision of on his chair or on his bench, whatever you call it, and we're asking questions as he's like cracking us. Be like, yeah, how do you feel? Oh, how do you feel? How do you feel about the environment?
So you haven't been to Dr. Dan yet?
No, so I want to go. He
Dr.
did
Dan-
not want. He did not want to talk politics last week.
No. No, he was kind of holding off his thoughts, and that's fine. You know, some people don't want their thoughts given out to the world, and some people are Jasmine Lane.
I'll give you some.
Sorry, Jasmine. She's coming back. We got her scheduled for a future episode here. I don't mean that's not a shot.
She is well spoken.
She does.
She has a lot of good thoughts.
She knows her politics.
I love that she's on my side. That's what she does. She digs into a lot of stuff. I really appreciate her. She's
so during the episode when we interviewed Jasmine Lane, Tim is shaving his beard into a mustache.
No, I'm
going to put on a man bun.
No, it's the opposite. I'm putting on the man bun. I'm attached to my beard now. Like I thought about
if it wasn't attached,
I thought about
it would
shaving
be
it, and I was like, I don't want to.
No,
like I was indifferent toward the whole thing, but now all I do all day is like
Stroke
feel
the
my beard up. And my wife hates it. Stop touching your beard.
Stop touching your face.
And apparently I misshape it everywhere. Like, what was that show where the guy has his ever moving goatee thing? I vaguely remember something where it keeps moving around. It's like a living thing.
Oh.
I don't remember what it was. So anyway, that's how I'm doing. Greg Stewart.
Is that how you're doing? I don't.
Greg Stewart. How are you?
Did I hear anything about how you're doing?
How are you doing? Tell me something that's new with you.
So what's new with me?
And before, while you're thinking about what's new with you, we would like to invite everybody out there to like,
subscribe, share, comment,
all of those good things. You see the button here that's somewhere in front of
There is no button. It's always underneath.
In front of the arm that's always going in front of Greg. He complains about it
it's underneath us.
Incessantly, he complains about my arm.
Like, subscribe, share.
We were told today by the producer of our show that it's not a big deal.
Yeah, well,
he complains about it because he likes to complain. Anyways, I've given you enough time to think about what to do.
So I've been having a great week. I went to Elkhorn last week with you. We did a live from Elkhorn. It's Wednesday evening.
Yeah.
And then
Wednesday
I drove.
Night. You can say night still.
No, it was evening.
It was night.
No, it was evening.
Started at 6:30. When does the night start?
Like 8, 9 o'clock.
8, 9 o'clock?
Yeah, the evening.
No, the night starts at like 7.
No, evenings are like from 4 until 8. And then night is from like 8 until midnight, and the morning
I'm
starts
not
at
into
midnight.
these rules, my friend. To me, the night starts at 7.
Let's how about you comment below? What time does night start for you?
Yeah.
I think night starts when you go to bed.
Speaking
so
of
like
night,
8, 9, 10 o'clock.
You're big into telling people how dark it's getting, eh? You're sending me messages every day. It's dark already at like 6:10, and then we had the time change. It's dark already at 5:01, and the next week it's gonna be it's dark already at 4:45.
So this comes up. We were at Elkhorn, the spa.
That was voice sound.
And I was like, well, we're gonna go there at 5. we're not going to get to see the sunset because it's going to be dark. And Tim's like, it doesn't sun doesn't set till 6:26. And I'm like, okay, 6:26 it is. So he was right. 6:26 is when the sun set. But the thing was, Tim, the next, like 3 days later, the time changed.
3 days later.
And the funny thing is, it went from a sunset at 6:26, the time changed, and it only fell back 1 hour, so it would be 5:26. But all of a sudden, the sun's setting at 5:01.
It's quick. It's a fast one.
It was very quick.
It's a quick one.
So yeah, we did Elkhorn. We did that live from Elkhorn. I drove home through the night that night, worked the next couple days, had the weekend with some hockey and some ringette and some fun stuff. And then after that, I went to Winkler for the last 2 days. I was out there
You went to
for work,
the land of farmer sausages and farmers.
as they call it, Vankla.
You know that I'm a minor celebrity in Winkler.
Are you? I didn't go to your pizza place. I went to
No, 'cause you never take my suggestions. I tell you what to do on vacations. I tell you what to do when you're in places, but
I went to the
never,
bowling alley for food
ever,
because I was
ever,
recommended the bowling alley.
Ever do what I tell you to do.
I was recommended
None
the
of my
bowling alley. Have you heard of this
suggestions.
bowling alley, VB's or something? It's Valley Bowling.
I vaguely remember when I lived in Winkler for 3 years.
This is a new building, like it's a new recreation complex.
Oh, really?
Yeah, right
So I
beside
would
the
have not
Best
gone
Western.
there.
So they had good food. I got the honey dill chicken grilled wrap with poutine.
When I lived there,
And the poutine was curly fries. I know all these things sound...
Poutine was curly fry. Okay.
Yeah, curly fried poutine. Anyway, came back from Winkler. Today we're recording and then got a big busy weekend, but it's a long weekend. We are not wearing our poppies. That's not great. But anyway.
You didn't put them on post edit?
Nope.
You could have.
I'm just going to put one over your face right now. So if you are watching this on November 11th, happy Remembrance Day.
That's
lest
right.
we
That's
forget.
right. It airs on Remembrance Day.
Yeah, so thank you to all the men and women and people who have fought for our country to give us our freedoms.
I have donated one daughter to the
Daughter,
military.
one daughter. I thought you said dollar.
I'm looking if it either
I thought you said I have donated
No,
$1.
daughter, and I am willing to donate a second one if they so annoy me.
Yes. So the first one annoyed him. Anyways, thank you to...
No, I'm saying in addition to
Yeah.
the first one I gave freely out of the goodness of my heart.
Okay.
But I'm saying I have no intentions of donating another daughter.
Yeah.
However, I could be persuaded to.
Do you want to thank the men and women that service our country?
Always.
Well, do you want to actually do it?
I second your comments for sure.
So you can't say it.
I don't need to. I reiterate
you.
the comments.
Men, women that help save our country
I
and keep
I
us safe
support
and keep us
our troops,
free.
for sure.
And oh, you're gonna say it now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't think it was necessary to say the exact same thing twice, but that's fine.
Well, it's necessary to come out of your mouth, you know, instead of you just going, I second that. Ditto.
Hey,
I donated
Patrick
$1.
Patrick Swayze, ditto in Ghost.
Yeah. Let's move on.
Powerful phrase. Ditto.
Let's move on to the Winnipeg Jets. Winnipeg Jets have...
You got your list there.
I got my list
just so
of
we
things
stay
to
on
talk
task,
about,
eh?
so we can stay on topic.
12-1.
As of recording,
Yeah.
they're 12-1.
I remember one time Greg Stewart said, when I asked him, how do you think Arneil's going to do as the head coach? And he's like,
He's gonna go downhill. Oh, that's gonna deal. It's all gonna go downhill.
And we're 12-1 with Scott Arneil. 12-1. 12-1. Who starts the year 12-1?
So the Jets have some tests coming up, and by the time this is aired, they'll have already had those tests. Colorado and Dallas, what do you think is going to happen?
Tough teams. They're on the road?
No, at home.
I say we split those two, lose one, win one.
Lose one.
They're tough teams. You're not gonna. You got. I always like to say you pick up the points against the teams who are below you. You do not have to win every game against the top tier teams.
The Jets. I thought the Jets were going to 81-1 this year.
Yes, that is exactly what I said. They're
And
81-1.
And I was told that Dak Prescott may start playing for the Dallas Stars because he's confused.
He's confused.
Yeah. Well, he throws passes to the wrong team. Now he's going to go play for the wrong team with stars on them.
Actually,
Dallas.
I feel kind of badly for. No, I don't. Oh, you believe me for 2 seconds. Our Jets are doing awesome.
Yeah.
My buddy Sandberg is scoring goals. I love
He's
him.
got more goals this year than he had last year altogether.
Yeah, and clicking 4 lines. And
all the lines are scoring. I think Niederreiter has 6 goals. And he's on the third
I love
line.
Mestikov. I love Niederreiter. They're both underrated players. They just play the right way. Nothing flashy, but solid players. And for the price point of their contracts, you can't ask for any more. You just can't. And they score goals too.
Yep. It's true. And then Kyle Connor, he was on pace for 80 goals to start the season, but now he's kind of dropped off that pace.
Thing. He's like, he's on pace for this. Remember Romano saved that game, and he was on
2 games in a row.
2 games.
He's on pace for 162 games.
162.
I think that might be a record. I'll have to check Google.
Oh, I said some good things on that trip. And Shifley with the bad swear.
That was the beginning of the Greg and Tim show.
That was, yeah.
The very
first
inspiration.
I inspired it.
Speaking of 11 or 12 and 1, the U.S. election happened this week.
Are we going off sports?
Might as well. Nobody cares about our sports. Jasmine already stopped listening.
Wait,
then she heard we're going to talk about the election.
You're not going to talk West Final? A little bit?
The West Final? Yeah, the Bombers playing the West Final. It's already happened. I can't talk about it.
Oh, you're just not going to talk about it?
Well, by the time this airs...
why don't you just say what you think, and then you're right or wrong. You flip the coin.
Okay, by the time this airs, I'm either going to be right or wrong. And if I edit it on Sunday, I can put in myself being right.
So just, okay.
The Bombers are going to win.
Blank.
And the
score of...
with a score of
38-22.
And the Montreal Alouettes are going to beat the Toronto Argonauts.
Oh, for sure.
And it's going to be a rematch this year, Montreal versus Winnipeg. That's my hope.
Yeah.
My dream.
Yeah.
Because I would love for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers to beat the Montreal Alouettes.
Yeah. Well, that's what you do. And is Philpott back for he was injured. He was their starting tailback, right? No, he's injured. Yeah, a little bit and we get Fajardo. Back Fajardo in that case, right?
Yeah, we have to beat Saskatchewan this week. That's going to be a big game.
Yeah.
By now, everybody knows how that ended.
Yeah.
And it's either we're going to play sad music right now or happy music right now. It's going to be happy!
It's... Kind of cold on the average temperature is like 1 degree for a high.
11. It's 11 on Saturday.
Is it 11? I thought they changed it. Let me just check. Is it the game? The game is Saturday.
The game is Saturday at 5:30.
Let me just check the good old Environment Canada, or we could check your weather app, which I refer to as the Ouija board app. Let's see what it is.
Aren't all weatherboard apps?
I've said this many times. Environment Canada actually has an office in Winnipeg. The other ones, I don't know what they're doing. Ouija, I call them Ouija board.
Funny because mine's right most of the time.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Saturday is 12 and Sunday's 15. Are we going to the beach on Sunday?
The beach is closed.
We can make a beach. Actually, I know where there's a beach. I'm painting at a house and there's a beach there, a private beach. 15 degrees. Gotta go walk on the beach without our shirts on. Go in the water.
Do you ever remember growing up and you see those shirts that say "Life's a Beach"?
Of course.
Can you explain to me what that meant?
Well, it's supposed to. Beach is also supposed to mean something else that sounds like the word beach.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure. I'm just guessing. I never really was involved in those kinds of cool sayings that we had in those times. I was never cool back in the day. As my wife will attest, I would walk around wearing suspenders that didn't match. I think
I had some inappropriate things when I was a child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you lived in Thompson.
I kind of wish I still had them so I could show them on the show here right now. But it was funny. I'll tell you off air the inappropriate things that I had as a child.
Me now.
No, I don't want.
Why
I don't
can't
want
we
to
share?
But like I said, talking about destroying the opposition.
Yeah.
The U.S. election.
Wow.
Do you want to give your
Yes.
opinion, your
Yeah.
perception,
Absolutely.
why this happened, what happened, like what's going on?
So I was watching the concession speech by Kamala Harris today.
When she said good afternoon 8 times.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. How many more times I have
And
to
then
get
she
these
said
times?
thank you like 5 times after that.
Yeah, she put on a brave face. They got to be disappointed, but that's politics.
Do you think they
right?
put that face on her, or do you think that she was born with it?
What I meant to say was she was smiling pretty. I mean, she's not happy. That must be the hardest job in the world when you are crushingly been defeated when you thought you were going to win.
Yeah.
And the thing is in the States, if you lose, you're gone. Like you're
done.
You're done. Whereas
Unless you're Donald Trump.
In Canada, you can remain the head of your party. You might have another chance at it. But in the States, it's a little different, right? So here's my thought.
But Donald Trump.
I was watching the concession speech. It took her an hour and a half from when they started the live feed.
Okay.
An hour and a half for her to come on. Everyone's like, the comments were hilarious. Half of them were "Go Trump," and the other ones were, well, when is this thing happening and everything. But it took forever for her to come on stage, and the entire time, it was like the music going on that it was accompanying the feed,
Like championship music?
was all one genre of music.
What genre?
It was either soul music, hip hop, or R&B, and which I love everything but the hip hop. I love the R&B. I love soul, old Motown. You can get me going any day of the week. I'll listen to it till the cows come home.
Yeah.
Not sure where that saying comes from, by the way. I'm sure we can look it up. But it's it was kind of a reflection of what her campaign was, where it was one-dimensional, getting one certain segment of the population, whether it was women, whether it was African American or whatever, black, what you want to call it.
Yeah.
And whereas the average, and someone said this very well today, whereas she was not looking to gain a wide range of support. And what I heard from people was that
Did you know that she's a middle class survivor?
Very funny. Whereas what I
she
heard,
too grew up in the middle class.
yeah, it's a rags to riches story.
Yeah.
Whereas what I heard from the average everyday person was there was a reaction to some of the left wing, we'll call it agenda, we'll call it wokeness, that there was a pushback on it where people wanted an alternative to what was happening with either the 4 years of Biden or just where society was going in general. And I think
one thing, though,
those everyday men and women wanted a wider range of opinions that more reflected them.
One thing,
that's
though,
why they voted Trump.
Kamala did promise.
Is it Kamala or Kamala?
Kamala.
It's Kamala. Okay.
Kamala did promise that if she got elected, she would fix all the problems that were created for the last 4 years.
Yes. And I told this, and that's very funny, but I told this to you. We went to Seattle a couple of months ago, and I've been to Seattle once for a cup of coffee, a run through downtown.
Yeah.
And I went through downtown, and my wife and I were astonished by the businesses that were closed.
This is the second time you've been to Seattle.
The open usage of drugs, some of the crime that was going on. And it seems like that is something that was happening in the Democratic controlled, I don't know if that's a fact, but just happened to be in those cities, Los Angeles, Seattle, Vancouver. And why anyone would vote the party that was in power when these things were going downhill was beyond me. So none of it surprised me. And for those reasons, and I said Trump would win. I'm surprised he actually, at the end of the day, won by quite a bit.
Yeah, he
At
won
least
fairly handily.
more than some of the polls were suggesting.
And Arizona and Nevada at the time of recording this haven't been fully reported yet
Yeah.
or called.
Yeah.
But Trump is leading both
Yeah.
Arizona and Nevada, which he lost last time.
And some of the simplistic campaigning that the Democrats did was basically vote for us because I'm a woman who is black, and don't vote for this scary racist white guy. And if you do, you're racist.
Yeah.
I think some of that campaigning backfired because people were, do you think I'm stupid? They voted on the topics that were important to them: crime, immigration, safety, some of these things, the economy.
The economy was big.
They voted for some of the things that were more than just touch points in the media that people were screaming.
Also, like the war that's going on in the Middle East,
the
one that's going on in Ukraine and Russia.
Yeah.
Those were big talking points for Trump as well,
Yeah.
saying that he can get these things fixed.
And whether he can or not, I mean, I think we can admit that politicians say a whole lot of stuff on day one, and
We have 2 months now.
Yeah. I'm in
2 months.
I'm in Florida, 5th to the 12th. I wish it was around the 20th. That'd be fun.
20th?
The 20th is when he gets sworn into office.
January 6th.
I googled it. It said February 20th. If it's the 6th, I'm there. I hope it's the 6th.
Pretty sure it's January 6th.
Well, Google it.
I can't.
Here, Google it. Oh, I can't give you my phone. This is what I looked at this earlier. I asked the question, when
January
does
6th is the inauguration day.
take office? When will he be sworn in is what you're asking, right?
When's the inauguration day?
It is January 20th.
You said February 20th.
Oh, I meant January 20th.
Yeah, January 20th.
Boom. I was hoping
It was January 6th last time.
Well, it can be different days. I mean,
I thought it was always the same.
No.
Okay, so January 20th. So you won't be there in time for that?
No. Maybe I'll stick around. No.
That's too bad.
My flight comes. Hey, I never trust you with my phone. Ever trust you with my phone.
Did you see the video yesterday?
Can you have my phone back?
Did you see the video yesterday?
Okay, you're gonna.
So Kamala's.
You can't get back on. It's froze.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, but that's still not going to get you on the phone.
Yeah.
You just.
Kamala yesterday is like this, and she's talking.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Did you vote?" and she's like, and she pauses. Oh, that's so good. So good. She voted. And that's what you saw, right? Like the video. Thank you so much. Have a great day. And then she's like, "Oh, my camera's on."
Just to end the whole, we can go on this for a whole lot longer. Oh, and we also have Jasmine Lane on the line here. No, just kidding. Just to go maybe to finish up the conversation.
Can we apologize?
What's that? I got a message
to our guests.
Why are you doing this?
Message who?
I got a message here while you had my phone on.
We want to apologize to all our viewers that have been waiting for Scarlett Johansson to join us. She once again canceled. This time due to unforeseen circumstances. Tim sent an inappropriate text.
No, I told you this in the other chat. She was going to come on. She is very much a Democrat, and she was so upset today she had backed out. But she will come on a different time. I sent that to the chat. Nobody commented. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. I said something funny. Don't you hate that when you say something funny and nobody responds? It's like tumbleweeds. Maybe I'll just put tumbleweeds on the chat. Yeah, let me just do that. I said, and this is what I said on the thing. And by the way, while I'm looking at that, just to end the conversation on the whole thing, I hope the Democrats and they will get back in power. It always flips back and forth. 4 years, 8 years from now, I hope they learn from this and change their policies to reflect a whole much wider stream of people's opinions. I just hope so. Yeah. I you know what? I don't know if they will, but I hope so. See, it says, here's my conversation with our chat with our wives and our sisters' wives. Or
our sister wives?
Yeah. Sadly,
how many wives do you have?
Sadly, the Democratic...
One masseuse and one wife.
Sadly, it's 2 wives. Sadly, the Democratic defeat has had a negative impact on the Greg and Tim show, as Scarlett Johansson has canceled her appearance on the show today because she is upset about last night. I'm going to love it.
You're loving your own comment?
I'm loving my own comment because no one else is.
Yeah.
If no one else is going to give me love, I guess I will have to do it.
So one other thing about last week, we went on a men's trip, the 4 guys here.
Party time! Party time!
Is it weird for guys to go to spas?
I have a friend, and I told you his name beforehand.
Yeah.
And sometimes he watches the show, and sometimes he doesn't. But I will
Jimmy
not.
Schlarski.
Don't do that.
Jimmy
He
Schlarski.
thinks that if men go to spas, it is I won't say the word, but it is questioning their manhood. That is not something that is appropriate for guys to do together. That is a female thing.
He's saying that men that go to spas together
Yeah.
don't like women.
I suppose you could put it in that frame,
Yeah.
right?
I'm not going to put a beep there because I
How
didn't
many
say
times can we be canceled? How many?
it. Every time.
Oh, yeah, every single time.
I'm going to smile like this for the rest of the episode.
It's going to a spa, and we went to Clar Spa, which is like
Clarso.
it's like a smaller version of Thermea.
Clarso.
Sorry, I apologize to the viewer and Clarso. By the way, they should like, subscribe, share, comment, send us positive vibes, pray.
Maybe Tim can have a massage.
Oh, I do need one. My neck. I wasn't hurting till today. Anyway, so why shouldn't guys go to Thermea? Let's say it's in the city. People are more familiar with Thermea. I would love to go with a group of guys. I did facials for my 40th birthday, which, by the way, is almost 9 years away.
I didn't get invited.
You said something to me. We weren't friends. The 5 years hadn't started. The contract hadn't started. And you said
you still haven't signed your extension, but you have 2 weeks.
We did an option for a year.
You have 2 weeks
to
sign the extension.
You said to me, was it 2 weeks ago? You said my 50th. You reminded me of my 50th. For some reason, my 50th is hitting me a little bit.
Holy
more
smokes, eh?
40. Anyway, so on my 40th, I was like, my idea. I took 2 other guys to get,
Who were these guys?
Get facials.
Just first names.
Pepper.
Oh.
And Plumber. Pepper and Plumber came with me.
Oh, Logan Stanley.
Yeah. And so we went for. It was my idea, facials. I love that kind of stuff. Same thing with Thermea.
The 2 of you went for facials?
3 of us.
The 3 of you went for facials?
Yeah.
That doesn't seem like the group that you would go to with facials for.
Which made it awesome. I love counterculture.
Remember when Plumber got that haircut?
Do I ever?
Tell me more.
Woo!
Wow.
The layman's coming for you, Plumber.
Inside jokes aren't as funny when you're not part of the joke. So, like, we laugh at
Can we show...
No, we can't. That's not appropriate.
Chris Farley doing this?
No.
Whee!
Oh, that part. I didn't want to refer to anything that I could add to it because I didn't want to add to anything to this podcast.
Did I ever tell you the story?
I even wanted to add to myself. I was actually going to not be here today.
Hey, can you tell something? I don't think something you didn't know about Tim. I'll tell you a story. I remember.
Let's roll the music.
Remember.
Time for the segment. Something you don't know about Tim. Do go on. Tell us more.
Remember when I said that? So I remember that Chris Farley.
Holy smokes! You said I remember 15 times.
Good afternoon.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Remember?
The wheel kept spinning.
Remember?
Remember your brother Dwayne? No, Chris Farley made 2 funny movies. 2 movies.
There you go.
David Spade. One was funny, and it was called
Black Sheep.
No, the funny one was called Tommy Boy.
Right.
And the other one was a joke that David Spade was called Black Sheep. No, and then there was a third one that was called Beverly Hills Ninja, and I went to that movie in Grand Forks.
Okay.
With Carla.
I thought you were gonna say Plumber and
Jason
Pepper
and Kelly. All no last names. The 4 of us went to Grand Forks.
Is that when you had the string cheese?
We were the only people. Yeah, yes, it was. We were the only people in the theater, and the movie itself was okay. But the scene where he's like has this big fake mustache and he's playing like the guy who's in the sushi restaurant or the Japanese restaurant who's chopping everything up.
Yeah,
it's so funny. I was literally, and we were the only people in the theater. I was rolling around on the ground in the aisle, and Carla can attest to this.
Carla.
Yeah, I was literally.
If you're
rolling
watching or
around.
listening, can you comment
Yeah.
below
And then
that you can
I went
attest to
back
this?
to our hotel and went to the sauna and made Mr. Noodles in the sauna. It was pretty
So
funny.
it was 2 guys and 2 girls.
Yeah.
And at that time, Carla was dating one of your friends.
I don't know. Yeah, probably. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you weren't dating either of those girls?
No.
Kelly? No.
No. I was dating nobody at the time.
Was Kelly a guy or a girl?
Girl.
Okay.
Yeah.
2 guys, 2 girls.
Yeah.
On a random road trip.
Yeah, and I forgot my ID at the border. So I had
Correct.
to go
On the
all
way to the border.
back, yeah.
Oh,
And so yeah, it was we were thinking about dating, but I couldn't pick which one I wanted. So
well, one of them was dating your friend.
I don't know if they were dating.
Yeah, they would have because they got
Maybe.
married very young, and they were
Maybe.
dating when she was like
Yeah, I guess so.
13.
I'm just kidding, by the way. I did not have any romantic liaisons with either one of them.
But Carla's
They're
twin.
both very lovely.
Carla's
lovely
twin, though, on the other
ladies.
hand.
Also did not have any romantic liaisons with that individual person.
You didn't even know Carla's twin was there.
Was
They
where-
actually just switched out during the day.
No, they don't look anything alike. Carla and her twin do not look anything alike, which just makes it funny. Carla looks more.
They
like
still
her
switched
sister.
out. And you're like, Carla, there's something wrong.
The lighting must have been really dark.
Well, you were really drunk a lot of those times.
Yeah, I don't think I'd ever drunk alcohol in my life at that time.
No,
And since then I haven't,
drank alcohol.
except for the one incident.
What
Nothing to
was
do
the
with
one
alcohol.
incident?
It's an incident. We can't get into that. Maybe one day.
Oh man, I could
How many times are we going to get canceled in this episode? How many times am I going to say
Now my neck
good
hurts.
afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, and then all of a sudden they're like,
Good beep.
beep. Just throw in a word there. My kids have heard that word. I can say it. No, you can't just shout the word just because your kids have heard it.
Yeah. Oh, that word.
Yeah,
Right. I remember.
You can't
So-
do that.
Let's get into the topic of the day. We
How
got about
many minutes?
10 minutes to talk about this topic of the day.
Yeah.
You have a topic of the day, so let's roll that music.
Okay, hooray! It's time for the topic of the day.
Okay, it's time for the topic of the day. Did you know that back in the day, we used to be a lot more like creative? We made a jingle.
Yeah.
Okay,
It doesn't mean it was
hooray,
good.
it's time for
We
the
just
topic
tried
of the
harder.
day.
They weren't very good.
And then we also had get your phone. It's podcast time.
It's the Greghead team show. I heard we're getting Phil Wickham to record it. That's why we stopped doing it.
Oh,
But he hasn't got back to it. He's coming with Scarlett.
oh, that'll be a great episode.
Yeah.
We will have a worship singer and
I've heard Scarlett.
Scarlett Johansson.
I've heard Scarlett Johansson's a very lovely person.
Yes,
So
I would hope so.
You're inferring they're total polar opposites somehow.
they are different
Yeah, everyone's different.
from each
Greg,
other.
Everyone's different. Doesn't mean they are opposites, or I'm sure they would get. I'm sure
Whoa,
Phil
whoa.
and Scarlett would get along very, very well. And I bet you Scarlett, if you played her praise and worship album, would love it.
Technically, they are opposites. One's a man and one's a woman.
Let's not be divisive in this country.
What is a man?
Well, Greg,
What's your
with an
definition of a
X
man?
chromosome and a Y chromosome. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Can we just end this sentence that I'm
Yeah.
saying now?
So your topic of the day, we
Immediately.
already played the music and now we're just wasting time. Your topic of the day is
So I wanted to talk about the myth of balance. Not balance in a balancing beam physically, but the balance of life. Everything what we've heard is we have to be balanced.
like work-life balance.
Work balanced with spousal balance, with kids, with family life, with our recreation life, in our health, our eating, our time with friends.
what you're
It's gotta
saying-
be balanced. This is what we're being told. A balanced life is a happy life, and I heard a couple of speakers.
Your
that
best breakfast is a balanced breakfast.
yeah, I've heard a couple of speakers say that a balanced life is a myth, that it is if you balance everything perfectly, you are left with every aspect of your life being mediocre, okay, or just good. That people throughout history that have done amazing things, whether it
Live the
be
most unbalanced
whether it
life.
be through sports, the arts, politics, live an unbalanced life. That they take one aspect of it and they
Yeah.
put so much time and so much effort into it, they change the world.
Do you believe this?
I'm putting forth that question.
I'm
Is
asking.
it
No,
better?
no.
Let me
You can't ask the question.
let me finalize the question so we are sure of it. Is it better to be good or okay, or if you want to call it mediocre, at balancing all these plates in the air so that they're at a level 6 or 7 out of 10? Or is it better to have one area that they are this up here, but something else might suffer? And is it possible? If you are great in an area, does that mean something else? And if you take a look at certain people in history, it's their family life. That if it's a famous,
we get the question.
if it's a famous, how many famous actors have you known that have been so great, but they've had 6 wives?
Yes.
Most of them, most of Hollywood is, has.
So we get the question: can you balance and still be great?
Yeah.
What's your answer?
I don't know.
I agree. If you have an answer, put it in the comments below. Thanks for watching.
Okay.
Come on, give me your opinion, dude. You're just a wishy-washy today.
I think
Cancel yourself. Let's hear it.
I think, and most times when I bring along a subject, I'm bringing it along to create the question. I'm not necessarily
Wanting to
bringing it
answer the
onto-
question.
so that I take one side or the other. So it's a question that I've thought about, and it's like I said, it's been a couple of people that have brought this up.
I find this I gotta say something.
Yeah.
You love to ask the questions.
Yes, I do love to ask the question.
And then you love the topics, and
Yeah.
you'll ask me the question, and you'll ask me to answer this question.
Yeah.
And then you'll be like, and I'd like to pose a question to our audience. Comment.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yes. Because I do
Meanwhile,
wanna know.
you're skirting the answer. Today, I am putting you on blast. I am putting you in your spot.
Yeah.
Answer the question. Can you live a balanced life and achieve greatness?
So the question is, can I think of an example of someone who's done amazing things? So
I'm not asking.
no, because if I give you, I'm going to give you an example of someone. Let's say,
Okay, so if you think that Tim is avoiding the question, put that in the comments below.
Okay.
Because honestly, you are politically answering this question.
I think it is possible.
Okay. You think it's possible to be great and have balance.
Why do some people seem to fail at it and other people? So I'm in my brain, someone who was great in an area with putting so much effort into something is someone like, I'd say, Billy Graham. Right? He changed the world, but still managed to have a wife, from my understanding, had a great marriage, whose kids, no one's perfect as far as their parenting, but whose kids had a good relationship with him as well.
Yeah. But
still met with heads of state, put so much time into their pastoralship that he changed a lot of things in history.
Yeah.
Based on what he was able to do.
So you believe it's possible?
I do believe it's possible, but I think what the Bible says one time is it's harder for a rich man to enter the kingdom of God than something like a needle through the eye of a camel or something like that. Maybe I'm butchering the phrase. It's difficult. It's difficult. The point is, it is difficult because as soon as you have one thing you spend so much time on, something has to suffer. I remember there was one speaker who said that the problem with a balanced life is if you get everything perfectly balanced, you freeze there.
Okay.
But I think sometimes one thing is more important and then another thing is more important. But the people, again, that do such great things do it for a sustained amount of time. Michael Jordan was great. LeBron James is great. Sidney Crosby is great because how many hours a day from when they're, and your kid plays sports too. How many hours a day does
My
Sidney
son, yes.
Crosby, since he was 4 years old, shoot a hockey puck? Right? Is he married, Crosby?
I don't know.
Okay. He's my favorite hockey player of all time, or one of them.
But you don't know anything about his personal life.
Yeah, I don't think, you know what, I shouldn't, I'm misspeaking here, but I think it's an imbalance, right? For Sidney Crosby to put all that time and effort into becoming that great. Are you bored with what I'm saying?
Sorry.
Wow. To put all that time and effort into it, you don't think that his family life, if he did have a family, and I don't know if he does or not, they would suffer. And some people understand that and don't get married.
Yeah.
Right. But I think it's hard.
Yep.
It's hard, right? So I think it's possible. I gave you an example of someone who did, but I think it is difficult.
So I think the problem is everybody has a different definition of greatness. And honestly, greatness is something that is achieved by having good friends, good family, good relationships, a good job, house, something over your head, food in the fridge. That is greatness to me. You picture greatness as being over the top greatness.
Yes.
And a lot of that isn't great.
Okay, I'll tell you this.
So,
all of the greatness is this. 50 years after you're dead, people know what you did and your significance of it.
So that's a very, very small amount of people.
Yeah, exactly.
Very.
Yeah. Dude, are people going to...
So your definition of greatness is an unattainable thing for 99.9% of people. How many great people do you roughly, let's just put a ballpark number on there. How many great people do you think, and make the ballpark number as big as you want it to be?
1%.
No, there's no way.
1%.
So you think that there has been 30 million great people?
Yes.
30 million.
In the history of the world, sure. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Great.
People that
based on your definition that you just made.
We would read about them in a history book that somebody has picked up. You know, people
30 million.
Yes.
That's just based on the 1% of the people in the population right now.
Yeah. I think 1% of the population achieves. And again, it's about what's important. Someone might say, no, I don't need to be historically significant.
So based on the population of people right now.
Yeah.
I think, what is the world at? 3 billion people?
Something like that.
I don't know.
Should I check it?
Sure. How many people are in the world right now? But based on the population of people right now, at this very moment, there would have to be 30 million great people. Never mind the population 10 years ago that have died and been born.
There's 8 billion people.
So 80 million people have to be great. 80 million.
Maybe I'm overshooting a little bit.
A little bit.
Not the numbers, but as far as greatness.
Do you think
after you're dead? Here, I'll tell you.
Do you think Freddie Freeman is great?
We'll see by the end of his career. But yeah, we can remember him. Babe Ruth.
Okay.
Stan Musial. If you know sports, you know some of these players, and sure, Freddie Freeman could be one of those people.
Okay.
Especially because he did something significant in a World Series, right? Mickey Mantle. I could name you a lot of famous athletes that I know of. You might not know them.
I remember the number of people that have actually played professional baseball, and it is so unbelievably low.
But there's a 1,000 different fields that you may not know of, like neurochemistry. You might not know them, but in their field, they're very significant.
So how many people would be significant in that field?
I'm just saying, add those fields together, they are significant. Not just one. You're focusing on
I don't know if anybody is agreeing with me or agreeing with you.
Okay.
But I think that your definition of greatness is unattainable just in general. Yes, there's greatness in the world of certain people. So like Sidney Crosby, Babe Ruth, Michael Jordan, Wayne Gretzky. These Joel Osteen, Stephen Furtick. Let's go with those names. And let's add other people like John Maxwell, and let's add different people that have authored different books, that How to Lose Friends in 20 Days book and whatever else. How to Lose Friends and Influence People, I mean.
Were you confusing with
How to Get a Date in 20 Days or something?
with Ted Hamilton?
Yeah, something. Anyway.
Confusing. Would you like to yawn again?
No.
For 200, Alex.
But I'm saying, okay, so those people are all great.
Yeah.
Because they literally dedicated their life to their craft.
Yeah.
But I don't look at that as the definition of great.
Okay.
But I'm saying that with complete dedication to your craft and ignoring everything around you.
Not completely, but an imbalance.
An imbalance.
Yeah.
I think that is not healthy in general. I think you can be great and be looked upon as being great.
Right.
And still balance your family, your friends, your lifestyle, your work, and all that kind of stuff. Do I think that it's attainable for everybody? No, 100% not. Because I think a lot of people will actually go the other way.
Yeah.
They'll actually be less great because they can't balance everything.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Right. And the point is, should you balance everything? Because someone would say, no, I'm not balanced, but it's worth it for me to achieve what I have achieved. Right. And again, I go back to the example where it can be healthy to like the person that invented, the cure for or some type of famous thing that helps the world. Well, we're very thankful that the person who
gave up their life,
who invented penicillin, gave
you
up their life.
Pennsylvania?
No, who invented penicillin? Well, we're sure thankful that they dedicated their life to do that.
100%.
Right. So you just finished saying their life was unhealthy.
But then we also thanked the troops earlier today.
Right.
Right.
The troops are a little different in that they have tours of duty where they go out for 6 months, they come back for whatever, right? So somewhat,
Still.
but yeah, you could argue that too, right? I know someone who's a wife of someone who was in war, and they'll tell you, they're gone for long periods of time, and those periods of time were very imbalanced.
Yeah.
But we thank like you said, we thank those troops, right?
Yeah.
But for that period of time, very, very imbalanced, and their wives had to take care of the family at home, right? And some of them in world wars where they come home and their husbands didn't come home, there's the ultimate sacrifice, right? The ultimate imbalance.
Yep.
Right?
So let's pose the question out to the family that listens.
The kids in the class.
Yes. You know who you are, Roman and Joel, and who else listens? Adam. Remember Adam? Remember when Adam used to listen?
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about Adam.
Adam and
he sent me a
Roman
private
and
invite,
Joel.
by the way, to your big getaway there New Year's
No,
Eve.
he didn't. His wife told you where we were staying, and you took that as an invite.
Actually, she never.
Nobody invited you.
Adam, he said, Tim, I'm writing you to give you a personal invitation to our New Year's Eve gala or gala, whichever way you want to pronounce it.
Nobody pronounces it gala.
I heard today actually someone did. It was in the.
It's a gala.
It was in politics. It was in the election.
If you do have an opinion on the imbalance of life versus greatness of life, feel free, put it in the chat, put it below.
Like I say, is it
put it in the comments?
The question is: it possible to be historically significant and have balance in life, and is it okay to not have balance all the time?
And if you like some of the inside jokes that we've been telling, be sure to comment.
And if you would like to
those.
mention that Greg should yawn less when I'm speaking, feel free as well. And pronunciation of gala.
You know what's funny? Nobody saw the yawns.
Oh, that's great. I'm glad that I put it in a broad stream and shone a light onto it.
Yeah. So if you like the show, subscribe, share, comment below. If you want to be
right here,
if it's down there, yeah.
My socks.
If you want to be part of the inside joke, they're white, yeah.
They're clean.
Bitch.
First time. They're very clean.
Yes.
I washed them.
If you want to be a part of the inside jokes, be sure to send us a message. Instagram, Facebook, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Tim likes his message sent to 4545.
Texting messages
May apply.
May apply. Charges might apply.
You can also email him at sandmanpaintingmb@gmail.hotmail@outlook.com.
You almost gave him the entire email. I guess I do want people to email me, but I like for business stuff. But I think it ended like the normal way.
Anyways, thanks for watching the episode today. Thanks for putting up with Tim. And don't forget to like, subscribe, share. New episodes every Monday. And if you want to sponsor us, hit us up. Hit us up in the comments. Say, I have a sponsor for you. And then email us at gregandtimshow@gmail.com. Also, gregandtimshow.com is your best source for all things Greg and Tim. That's our website. And Tim, I'll give you final words of goodbye.
Yeah, just to reiterate that Greg puts a lot of effort into that website, and we have some blogs that we've taken from some of the episodes. So take a look. If you missed some of these episodes, go back, rewind, and watch them all. We've had some fantastic interviews in the past and some standalone shows, and we have some fantastic interviews coming up. I'm really pumped. Stay tuned.
Oh, we got
for
some
those.
big ones. Yes, I'm excited.
And we're hoping, fingers crossed, that next week will be when Scarlett joins us.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us. Have a great night, day, afternoon, evening, morning.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
The layman. Yeah!
Thanks for watching the Greg and Tim Show podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with all your friends. Sharing is caring.